Listen up, Dwayne, you bald fraud. Welcome back to the AR Wrestling Podcast. We are your hosts, Alex and Ryan. You know what? Like I said, we got banger for you this week. So honestly, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Ryan, how we doing? How we feeling?
Dude, I
We
don't even
feeling after
know
this week?
anymore. This is just a wild time.
This
Just
week's it
craziness. We got
is.
Randy back. We got John back.
God, we got everybody
Oh,
back. I'm so excited.
everyone ruins Randy Orton's returns.
Yeah, honestly. Fuck. Past two Randy returns have been ruined. Punk. Give me that triple threat at WrestleMania. Fuck it.
Randy's finally had enough of everyone's shit.
Honestly. But I mean, I don't have any news for this week. How about yourself? Do you have any news?
I think the only news that I have to shout out is that Ray Phoenix officially off of the AEW roster page.
Thank God.
And
No, I'm not saying that in a bet. Like, it's a good thing for Ray Phoenix. That's why I'm saying thank God.
He didn't want to be there in the first place.
Yeah, I don't fucking blame him. I wouldn't want to work for TK either. He can barely run an NFL franchise, let alone a wrestling company. Fucking bozo. Anyways.
Fucking bozo. But yeah, he's expected back in, or not back in WWE, to debut in WWE, hopefully before Mania.
I say you kind of do what you did with Penta, where you keep him hidden for a little bit, and then you do it. Because what I think you should do is, because you got to think Penta still is learning the WWE style. You might as well put Ray Phoenix in the Performance Center. I wouldn't throw him in NXT. Just throw him into the Performance Center, just so he can understand what it means or how to wrestle for this company. Huh?
I don't agree with that one personally. I want to see him go straight to the main roster because I think he's just ready. Like, yeah, WWE has a different style that you need to get more used to, but Penta's not. I don't think Penta's taking too long to adjust to it. He's phenomenal still.
Oh yeah, of course. But I mean, I'm ready to get right into our shows if you are.
Straight up, let's get into it.
So as of Monday, actually, you know what? As of this recording, if I do the math right, we are 41 days from WrestleMania 41.
Damn.
47 days was Monday Night Raw. This is insane. I just thought a little tidbit out there. But to start out Raw, we see some highlights from Elimination Chamber. Jade Cargill's return, Bianca winning, Trish Stratus return, Kevin and Sami highlights, Randy's return, the highlights of the men's Elimination Chamber. Then we see Cody getting turned on by Cena and aligning with The Rock. By the way, that was our fucking theme throughout the entire night. I was pissed. Leave that shit to SmackDown. Do not bring it to Raw.
Commercial break, we had that thing going on.
Dude, we had like at least 1 million of them. It was great. Anyways, we open Raw, dude. We start out hot with, man. Let me back up. We got Rhea Ripley and Damage Control mainly for EO, and then Bianca. Obviously, that's all the Women's World Championship match. That's the main event of the night. And then American Made for their tag match with the War Raiders as well. And then CM Punk coming in, pissed the fuck off. We get Punk chants raining down before he even before he even leaves Gorilla. I don't think it's before he even gets to Gorilla. These chants are just so loud. Tears apart ringside basically. He goes, "Let's start the show off with a bang." He's on the announce table at this point. He goes, "This is going to be a lot of fun for me. I'm about to get this canceled off Netflix again." He talks his WrestleMania event or WrestleMania main event status. He goes, "Allow me to address my enemies. Since my name is CM Punk, that means everyone. Give me someone to start with. The Rock, the final boss. Listen up, Dwayne, you bald fraud. You think you're better because you're on the board and you're immune from criticism? Middle-aged and crazy, walked back through WWE 10 years. This is exactly what Punk's done. He's marched through hell to get to the big dance. You get to walk in whenever you feel like it. I wish I could say this to your face." He starts mocking Rock's mana whenever he hits his arm and like the whole Goosebumps thing that he does every entrance.
"You're not here to do your
bullshit."
He
goes, "I've never been so desperate to wear a fake title. Talk your shit." I agree, Punk. What the hell is the People's Championship? Anyways, fuck Dwayne. Fuck The Rock entirely. He can go fucking... I hope Moana 2 does horrible numbers. I've never been so desperate to proclaim myself as a People's Champion because I've earned it. I've never been so desperate to sell my soul. This is for you, Cena. Now we can all see through you. Starts like he just absolutely starts just going in on John. Like he's just shit talking, bro. Hard. Hustle, loyalty, respect for 20 plus years. You've been selling all these people bullshit. Who gave up in the Elimination Chamber? I never gave up. Ironically, don't quit. Don't give up. You gave up on everybody. I'll see you down the road, and I'm going to get my hands on the both of you bald frauds. And now, the man of the hour, The person who has all my attention, little brother Seth Rollins. Becky Lynch, you better come get your man because I'm going to put him in a wheelchair. Then, boom, Seth Rollins' music said, Punk doesn't even wait, dude. He just books it to the entranceway. They both fight there. Officials come out. Sorry. They get separated, but they keep fighting. Pierce comes out. Rollins and Punk both take out security. End up in the ring, and they start fighting. We get our holy shit chance as usual because you know what? This is an always holy shit. Rollins and Punk end up back outside, spilling in the crowd. Again, dude, security is just doing a horrible job at separating because Rollins is clawing and fighting. He ends up getting loose, fights over the announce table, and Pierce just ends up screaming at the both of them. Rollins ends up getting loose one more time, and they both are eventually separated. I'm saying I don't like what they did. This needs to be WrestleMania.
I think this is gonna all be a 2 setup WrestleMania because I mean, something got made official for this next Monday's show between these two, and I really think that we're setting up WrestleMania right now.
We get a replay of John Cena selling his soul. We see streamer reactions of kids crying. I mean, of course, my inner child died that night, so yeah, understandably. We get a replay of Rollins and Punk.
Saw Speed's reaction. He's like, "No way!"
Speed's so funny. Like I said, we see the replay of Rollins and Punk fight during commercial. They also fought through the crowd, so this was interesting. But we get a replay of the main event from last week of the women's tag team championships. My bad. Raquel and Liv winning. I was really happy about that because that pulls out Naomi and Bianca and Jade entirely, so they can feud on their own terms. But everyone's happy. Dom says that Liv and Raquel, the greatest tag team of all time. No, the fuck they're not. Liv says that it's time for Raquel to go for the Intercontinental title. Liv checks on Finn. Finn says everything's cool, but brings up Liv's Elimination Chamber loss. Brings up Dom and Carlito being mauled by Breaker last week. And Dom, again, brings up a new member. And Finn goes, you know what? I'll take care of Breaker. Finally, we get this fucking match. I think it's Monday.
Yeah.
And Dom asks about Jade, and Liv says, don't worry about it. Which made me think that she did it for a second until we got to Elimination Chamber. I still held strong with Naomi, but there's a little part of me that thought Liv did it because of her saying that.
I mean, after she beat the fuck out of Naomi, I didn't really question it.
Dude, that was well deserved. In my opinion. But after this, we get Otis with the Alpha Academy versus Gunther, and holy shit.
Oh, I loved this, dude. I love this feud.
We get a Gunther promo again before the match. He goes, before I embarrass you, big boy, let me explain something to you. I mean, first, I know you're strong as an ox. Some call you a freak of nature, but to me, you're just a freak. To me, you belong in the same category as Jey Uso. It's like, ow. Oh, the people-pleasing clown for the degenerate audience. That doesn't belong in my sacred ring. Do you think they cheer because they like you? No, they pity you. One moment, full honesty. Have you looked in the mirror? I did with me wearing the World Heavyweight Championship as a belt, where you can't find a belt that fits. We get Otis chants. The sad thing is, you could be great if you had some self-respect. Don't worry, I'll teach you respect right now, just like Jey Uso in WrestleMania. Holy shit. But to get this match open, cheap shots on Otis, or Gunther cheap shots Otis to begin. He starts slapping Otis a bunch of times, grabs him by the beard, but Gunther, dude, you pissed off Otis, Gunther. Drags him outside the ring and hits a fall-away slam. I'm like, holy shit.
Whoa, this is crazy.
Then we come back from commercial with Gunther in charge, unfortunately, but later on, Jesus, just A1, I apologize. Otis later on eats 4 just slaps to the chest before unloading on a Gunther, but Gunther, does his thing. Goes for a running frog splash, but gets caught and slammed, and Otis hits the worm into his elbow drop. But it isn't enough for Otis because Gunther hits a powerbomb for the win. But after the match, again, Gunther, he does his little shit where he's a dick. Locks in a sleeper on Otis, who has no neck. And then Tozawa comes to save Otis. And Tozawa, unfortunately, gets powerbombed on Otis. But don't worry, because yay!
Ooh, so
Gunther gets the upper hand, but Jay's able to reverse. Jay hits the spear, raises the World Heavyweight Championship, but he doesn't hold it for long as Austin Theory and Grayson Waller come from behind and attack Jay. Theory and Waller go for a double team, but Jay reverses his super kicks Theory, spears Waller, but he's distracted long enough for Gunther to get back in the ring and lock in a sleeper. But Jay lays lifeless in the ring, and Gunther stands tall.
Fucking Gunther, man.
It's your guy. What do you mean, fucking Gunther?
I know it's
Fuck
my
you.
guy. I know it's my guy. But like, we got Jey Uso holding the world heavyweight title there, dude. I really just wanted to just have that moment.
Uh,
Yay! Like, I know I
uh,
love Gunther, but like, he's such a good villain to watch lose. That's
oh,
part of
God, it
why I
is.
love him so much. I'm just like, oh, let's go, Jay.
After this, though, we get Rhea Ripley and Io Sky promo. It kind of just highlights the past few weeks between Io and Rio and their history together. Then we get Ivy and Lyra walking backstage to Gorilla, obviously for their Women's Intercontinental Championship match. You get Clay Guida, UFC Hall of Famer in the crowd. Then we get another replay. All right, this is where I'm going to start getting. I'm just going to lay it here. First 2 times, it's okay. Repeating this over and over again throughout the night pisses me off. We get to see another replay of streamers' reactions to John Cena's heel turn. And then Kathy Kelly is with AJ Styles backstage. And she's asked about John, or he gets asked about John turning heel. But before he could even answer, Karrion Kross comes in trying to manipulate AJ. And then AJ goes, you know what? I'll challenge Logan Paul next Monday. And Karrion leaves with saying that was easy. Have you ever noticed, though, whenever Karrion is trying to manipulate the person he's trying to get, he wears the same hair they do?
I actually haven't. No.
Pay close attention.
Okay.
I've noticed it with Sammy. I think Xavier is who it was, and then I've noticed it with.
He was trying to relate to them more.
AJ.
I guess is what that is.
Kinda.
I like that. I do
Which
like Aaron
moves
Cross.
us. I do too. They just need to do more with him because he's not doing much. His last match was a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and that was in the Wyatt 6 feud, I'm pretty sure.
And it wasn't even over! That feud wasn't even over. But after this, we get the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Ivy versus Lyra. And before the match, Lyra is demanding Ivy. But as the match starts, Lyra immediately dropkicks Ivy. Later on, Ivy hits a dragon corkscrew on Lyra from the ropes, continuously working on her leg. But we come back from commercial with Ivy in charge, and then Ivy locks in the ankle lock and is like absolutely destroying Lyra's knee and ankle. Like, I'm telling you, she is focusing on this leg throughout the match. But it's not enough for Lyra to go down because Lyra hits the Nightwing on Ivy for the win. So who the fuck is Lyra going to face to lose this title?
Literally the only person.
I don't think it should be Becky, honestly.
Yeah, that's who I was going to throw out. Never mind.
I think it should be a younger star, like with her around her age, to be honest.
Dakota, but like
Dakota's like
hasn't
35,
happened.
dude.
Like fuck. I honestly have no idea who it could be. I was chanting for Ivy there for a little bit, but I don't think so. You got any ideas?
Honestly, right now, no. I want to say Kyrie. You know what?
I like Kyrie Sane.
You know what? Fuck it. Throw it on Rhea.
Oh, mommy.
Fuck it.
Honestly, like you should.
I'd like Raquel. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to Liv.
I like that one too.
But those are probably the 3 in my head.
I don't think Liv Morgan's a bad show. Her being a double champ for a little bit with Raquel by her side guarding her until Raquel eventually turns on her.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see. But after this, we get CM Punk calling out Becky to come get Seth. And Jackie Redmond is catching up with Seth Rollins on his way out of the arena to his bus. But Punk and Rollins get in the fight backstage again. Pierce intervenes, and Punk says, "Let him go. I'll kill you," before commercial. But that was interesting. This is really a blood feud, dude.
This really is, and is on site with these guys all night.
Literally on site. This segment right here proved it was on site.
Seriously.
But after this, we see Buffalo Bill, Dion Dawkins in the crowd, who was also at Elimination Chamber in Toronto. Big Buffalo guy. So it's great to see he was there. But after this, we go to commercial. We come back from a replay of Punk and Rollins fighting. Again, we don't give a fuck. We know they're going to fight. Same with this whole thing with Cena. I'm still upset with Raw and Cena. God damn. But Pierce is with Rollins. He goes, Pierce is like, what's so easy about this? He goes, Rollins goes, he screwed himself in the Rumble. I made sure he didn't make it to the WrestleMania main event. I'll make sure he won't even be at WrestleMania. I want to finish it. Pierce goes, finish it. Fine. Next week, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, steel cage. And says to get on Rollins, and Rollins like, you need to get, or he tells Rollins, you need to get on your bus, and I don't want to see you till next week.
Holy shit. Punk, Rollins, Cage, in the Garden.
In the Garden.
Wow. I think
insane.
This is what I was referring to earlier, what gets set up for next week. I think we're going to set up WrestleMania with this match by Roman Reigns coming out.
Really?
Yep. I think Roman comes out. Like, you can, I don't know how. I really don't. You can have them both bloodied up in the center of the ring screaming at each other when Roman all of a sudden storms out and beats the shit out of both of them. You can have, like, Seth maybe escapes the cage only to turn around and eat a spear immediately.
That or a Superman punch.
Something like that. Superman punch, I feel like, would be better. Because then you can set up the
to
spear
me,
afterwards.
That and plus, the spear is overused.
Everyone uses the spear.
And I feel like to protect Roman, because he's obviously a very protected star right now, do the Superman punch. It's not going to do much. The worst that's going to happen is he's going to fucking tear his ACL. So, but after this, we get Ludwig Kaiser in the ring, and he goes, especially after last week, I'm here demanding all of your gratitude for Ludwig Kaiser. Last week I took back the attention that Penta's had, the attention I've been deserving. Yeah, go ahead, boo all you want, but you know damn well Ludwig Kaiser is everything he says he is. He is a future world champion, and you, Penta, if you really think we have unfinished business, you might want to reconsider. Because what Cena did to Rose is nothing compared to what I'm going to do to you. And after I'm done with you, I will show you what fear feels like. And then we get Cero Miedo. Penta just makes an absolute beeline for Kaiser. He hits a super kick on him, goes for the Penta driver, but Kaiser dodges and Penta drags him back in the ring. And Kaiser ends up getting sent back outside and by Penta skinning the cat, hitting I think it was like a Hurricane Rana or whatever. But as Penta gets back in the ring after skinning the cat, he hits the tope con hilo. And that's what we close out with that segment.
Personally, one little bugbear I have about Penta, you can let me know if you disagree with this one. I really would like the sacrifice to be used as his like finisher, his death move. Well, maybe not his finisher. Maybe it's like
I just wish it was sold. I would make it his submission.
I wish. It's not a submission though. He's not trying to like make you tap out. He's just grabbing your arm and wrenching it back as fast and as hard as possible to try.
Right, but you could change it into a submission. All you have to do, the only thing you're taking away,
all you have to do
is just the snapback. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, because you kind of
it's the same. It's a Fujiyama. I'm pretty sure
it's the same thing. It's very similar to the whole thing with the Kimura lock. It was a very protected submission move, but you can use it as he's actually trying to break the arm.
And then occasionally he can like snap on, like maybe he's pissed off at the person that he's wrestling. So then that's when he can do the snapback.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you do it with moderation, it's done right. As long as it's done with moderation, in my eyes, it's done right.
Yeah. Do it with moderation and have people actually sell it like they're having their arm broken.
Exactly. So after this, though, we get Kathy Kelly with Bianca backstage, and Kathy asks, "How's she processing the whole, Jade Naomi thing?"
Next note later on.
Which, honestly, it's like I get it. She doesn't want to talk about it till she talks to the both of them, but she does feel guilty. And tonight she's going to focus on who she faces at WrestleMania, and ends up giving Rhea and Io their flowers. But now everyone will remember you can't spell WrestleMania without EST. That's a hard ass line. I'm just gonna say
it is.
But something else I'm gonna say hard ass line, but a hard ass match was a Creed Brothers versus the War Raiders, dude. They're getting ready backstage before their World Tag Team Championship match. We get a couple things before we get there. The like 10 millionth fucking replay of Cena turning on Cody with fan interactions. Everyone saw what happened. Why do we need to keep showing a fucking replay? It's cool and all.
Trauma.
Yeah, you just keep layering on the damn trauma. Anyways, after this is probably honestly really my personal favorite segment of Raw. besides, I want to say no. Yeah, it's probably or no. Besides, no. Yeah, actually, it's my favorite part of Raw. Right here. This is the Chad Gable
Amazing.
vignette, and he's learning the art of lucha libre. He's like, I would assume he's somewhere in like Mexico, maybe Venezuela, somewhere in like a Spanish like heritage company or country.
Like a
Jesus.
meat market or something like that.
And he keeps asking people around like if they know someone. Like, there's a name on this note. They're like, but he walks up to someone and he goes, "Someone's waiting for him." He goes, you know this guy?" He goes, "Yeah, I do, but you cannot fight what you don't understand. You must become lucha." But Chad's like, "So what do I got to do?" And this mysterious person, he's handed a box, but the box is pulled back, and the person's like, "I need some money first." Chad gives over like I think it's like 400, 500 fucking dollars for this thing. I'm like, Jesus. But Chad, presumably, whatever the fucking word you want to use for that, puts on this mask. And I want to know, I'm kind of curious if WWE has a connection into like lucha wrestling. So they're using that in a way to get their Hispanic stars. And in that case, they're like, hey, can we, send Chad Gable? Because I want to know if Chad Gable's actually learning the art of lucha or if this is all just the storyline. Because if he's actually learning the art of lucha, dude, this will be it'd be such a good thing to add to like his moveset or his, I guess you could say, resume more than anything.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about this.
This was probably my
I
favorite,
thought
even
it
though I've
was
been hating Chad a lot.
I thought it was amazing. Like, first of all, like no part of this do I have any bad feeling towards, but it's like it just felt like a fever dream. Because what? How do I explain this to anyone?
Oh God, it'll be interesting to
I'm
see how this
excited
all
to
goes
see
down.
the next phase of this.
I am too. It was kind of put on the back end for a couple of weeks, but then
Yeah,
this
he
happened, I
had
was
to
like,
get
okay,
over the. He had to find the.
and it go
He's been
find
searching this whole time.
he must become Lucha.
You must become Lucha. He's
After this though,
beckoning just for more money. Just come on, give me more.
come on. After this though, we get Chad's lackeys, the Creed brothers, versus the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championship. And this match just starts out hot. Eric and Julius start out, but the Creed brothers hold control for a little bit before Ivar gets tagged and goes crazy, taking out both of them, Brutus and Julius. But we come back from commercial with the Creeds in control. Ivar and Eric throw Julius back and forth like a baseball. But later, like not even like shortly after, Julius' brother, this shooting star press, he hits a shooting star press, probably the prettiest shooting star press I've ever seen besides Evan Bourne's when he ate that RKO.
Oh God!
I'm not gonna lie, this was such a pretty like shooting star press. If anyone who didn't see this match, I suggest going back to watch this match just for that move specifically.
Was it better than Brock's shooting star press though?
Dude, I'm telling you, this blew Brock out of the water. At least Julius was able to land his.
Exactly.
But that isn't enough for the Creed brothers as the War Raiders hit the War Machine for the win. This is insane, dude.
This was like, dude, this episode of Raw was low key, like, not even low key. This was just a banger episode. I feel like every match was really good. I felt like, and all the storylines had me hooked.
I agree.
That's how I felt.
But after this, we get the highlight of the night: KO versus Sammy highlights. We get Randy Orton's return, but we also learn Sammy is out indefinitely after the match at Elimination Chamber. Sammy's out for a while. I hate to say it, Sammy's out for a while. We ain't seen his. It's so unfortunate. But I'm kind of interested to see. You keep pitching the idea of SummerSlam, and I keep liking it more and more. So we'll see. But after this, we get the LWO promo video. Whenever the beating they took from the New Day, Rey Mysterio is seen in the video. So this basically, we learned that next week, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio take on the New Day in a tornado tag team match, and it ends with Lee and Mysterio saying the New Day sucks. They do. They fucking suck.
New Day sucks.
So we actually see Rhea backstage and Io Sky getting ready for their match. I got so many feelings about that match, honestly. But after this, we see Finn Balor and Braun Breaker, I would believe, backstage. Breaker says the reason that he's still Intercontinental Champion is because he's a dog. Last time he checked, he embarrassed all the Judgment Day. And Finn's like, Braun, my name's Finn Balor. I chew up little rookies like you. I can take that title anytime from you. You clearly just look a little smart. You're clearly just a little smarter than you look. And so, the first time you step in the ring, there's going to be no dogs barking. They're going to be watching me put you down. Oh, no. Finn's in the ring and Braun's in the crowd. Dude, this episode of Raw was also really, fucked because there was promos happening as we were coming back on air.
Yeah, the whole Netflix.
It's really hard to do when you're around the world.
Places just don't get commercials. So they kind of have to keep the show going for those people. But for us that do get commercials, that means that we come back in the middle of a segment like this, or I'm hoping that they're able to iron that out.
I think it will. It's just like we said, it's harder because you're doing a worldwide stream now. You're not just doing 3-4 countries. You're doing over 200 countries now.
Right.
But to get back through this, Braun Breaker starts making his way through the crowd. Carlito tries to sneak attack Breaker, but Dom also tries to it. He gets German suplex. Finn hits a sling blade on Breaker. It looks like Finn has the upper hand, but Breaker military presses him before slamming him. And then Breaker runs the rope, and Dom ends up saving Finn. But, Breaker gets outside the ring, kind of peeps over, sees Carlito, gets his big-ass shit-eating grin on his face, runs the ring, snaps Carlito in half. And I'm not going to lie, I've seen this thing. And I agree with it. They're kind of screwing Carlito anymore. We need something with Carlito. Put him in the Intercontinental scene. Honestly. Make him be the Carlito he was before he left.
Yeah, literally right now he's just a goofball who takes punches for the Judgment Day.
Yeah, that should be Dom, in my opinion. But, I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it all. But then we get to the 100 millionth fucking time of the night. We see 500 million views of John Cena selling his soul to The Rock. I mean, 500 million. That's cool. I don't need to see this 100 million times during a show they're not even on. They're all on SmackDown. Why do I need to see this?
Give it to me. I'll talk about it.
After this, though, we see Jey Uso leaving. Otis thanks Jey, and Jey says he got the Alpha Academy's back. But Kathy Kelly walks in, and she goes, "Does what happened out there throw you off?" And he goes, "A little bit." What he's going through, that's all he hears. He can't do it. He's a tag team guy. But look, though, back against the wall. Gunther, you say you're going to give me 10 weeks of hell? At WrestleMania, I'm crashing out, Oos. You just woke up a damn beast. 4 letters, 1 word. Jey! Oh, my God,
Crash
dude.
Out Jey is here.
I'm so happy, dude. I'm crashing out with him.
Oh, my God.
His fans are going to crash out with him. Look, Cena turned heel. Jay's crashing out. Fuck it. I want to be a crash out heel forever. But a match this match I did not crash out. For the Women's World Championship, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Bianca's ringside before the match, just to be there to see who she's facing. No big deal. Whatever. So the match, starts out collar and elbow tie-up, leads to Rhea taking control. But Rhea uses Io as a battering ram into the apron, which turns into a suplex. When we come back from commercial with Rhea in charge, hitting a missile dropkick. But then Io later on hits a missile dropkick of her own, goes for the Meteora, but misses. Then Io later on runs wild before Rhea hits a big boot. And as Rhea goes for the Riptide, Io counters it with a DDT. Then later on locks on an Asuka lock, which I thought was interesting. So is this my thought before I move on anywhere? Is this like a little hint that Asuka's coming back soon?
I hope so.
I know it's literally one move, but I mean, look at CM Punk, Shinsuke, Rollins. So many people were using the go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. They were supposedly the biggest kept secret in the company. No, the fuck it wasn't. I don't know. But later on, Rhea locks in the prison lock, but Io hits a sunset flip powerbomb through the ropes onto the barricade to Rhea. And then as she gets Rhea back in the ring, she hits over the moonsault, but Rhea gets her foot on the bottom rope for the pin. Io hits a suicide dive onto Rhea. but she reverses by making Io go face first off the announce table. And then this is where I about crashed the fuck out. Rhea shoves Bianca. Bianca is now getting involved, shoving Rhea back, right? Isn't this a fucking disqualification?
I feel
Technically?
like technically, but I mean, it's a world title match, so Jessica Carr doesn't want to throw it out like that over just a simple shove. Like if Bianca had started beating the shit out of her, like
But
that would have been more like it.
then here's my thing. Here's my thing. Liv Morgan should have never won that Elimination Chamber. If we're going to have Bianca shove Rhea, then Rhea should have been able to hit Liv in that qualifier. I'm just saying, that's kind of fucked up in my opinion. You're bending the rules. I get it. You're going to bend the rules in some storylines. They're both high stake matches.
You don't want to throw. How is an Elimination Chamber qualifier anywhere on par to a world title match?
Because you're going on to WrestleMania. That is a match to go to WrestleMania. That is a big match. Same with the Royal Rumble. That is a big match.
To go on to WrestleMania. That is a match to go on to Elimination Chamber. This is a
to
match
go on to WrestleMania.
This is the match to go on to WrestleMania, and this is a match to go on to win the world title. So you're not going to just throw it. How many WrestleMania world title matches have we seen people not get disqualified in or counted out in when they should have? And we've been told, well, it's a high stake match, so the referee's going to bend the rules this time. Yeah, it's a well established thing.
Don't count me out. I'm your boss. I'll fire you. Shut up, Dwayne.
That was Dwayne, but like it's a well established thing. The referees don't count them out or disqualify them over something stupid if it's more of a big match.
Right, but that you can't. To me, like if you're taking away the stipulations entirely, it's still, in my eyes, it's still a disqualification. I don't know, but I've seen a rumor setting up the triple threat between these three at WrestleMania, which I wouldn't be pissed about. But this is the moment. Actually, I knew immediately Io was winning because Rhea looked over, looked for the top rope riptide, starts shit talking Bianca, gets distracted long enough for Io to get her on the mat and hit the over the moonsault for the win. Now, am I pissed Rhea lost? Fuck no. I'm not pissed. I'm not. But I'm pissed on how the end of the match happened. Because if Bianca is shoving the champion, that means Rhea was allowed to hit Liv. Regardless of the stipulation or not, you are sitting here in a match. You are getting shoved by somebody who's not in the match. That is technically getting hands put on you. That is giving you a disadvantage. And it's just, I don't know. Bending the rules like that, it really throws me through.
You're the one dude on the field that goes and cries to the ref when one little play goes a foul and it's a little bit off on it. It's like, well, technically, this is the rule, but we go by the rules here.
Right. If you're gonna make the rules, go by them. In my opinion, like, sorry, I don't know.
This is WWE. When has it ever gone straight by the rules?
It's Paul Levesque's fucking show. Whatever.
Oh my goodness.
But that's all I have for Raw. Raw was an absolute banger. I mean, we saw a lot. I was expecting at least a title change for a mid-card or a tag title. We got the title change at the end of the night. So be it. But like I said, I've seen a couple of rumors of Rhea versus Io versus Bianca. But I don't know how it's going to happen because who the fuck is Bianca going to be traded for now that she's on Raw? Because she's a SmackDown star. Who's she going to be traded?
I don't see why you have to do a trade. Why can't you just go there?
Okay, then we shouldn't have traded. Well, then when Jey Uso signed to Raw, you should have traded anyone to SmackDown.
I mean, yeah, that.
You see my argument there,
but we didn't.
We did. We saw Cody go to SmackDown. I think it was Cody. Or no, it was Kevin. It was Kevin.
When he won the WWE title a long time ago.
No, it was Kevin. Who was this? The trade.
This is all like.
It was Kevin Owens who was the trade for Jey Uso.
I do not think we are going to see a trade for Bianca Belair. I do believe Bianca Belair just has the right to go to Raw since she's the number one contender for the Raw title.
I don't know. I mean, this whole thing is really fucked. I don't know if I'm trying to stick to everything they've done throughout the year just to see if they actually stick through it throughout the year. So, and obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna go to the company, shit on the company for it. No, it's their company. I'm a fan of this. I'm kind of interested. Like, if the inconsistency makes me be consistent. So, I'm actually, like I said, I'm not upset with the winners or anything. I'm just upset with the rules and how they're bending them. Like, make it make sense to me. So, I mean, maybe with this whole thing with, like I said, with Rhea and Bianca shoving each other, we could see a triple threat. I'm buying it right now up until Monday. So we'll have to see. That's just how I feel about it, though. I don't know about yourself, Ryan.
Facts.
So That's all I have for Monday Night Raw, though. I mean, I'm ready to get right into SmackDown.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get right into the Blue Show with Joe Tessitore welcoming us to the home of ECW itself. It's Philadelphia.
EC Dub,
Actually, been there
EC
before.
Dub, EC Dub. I've never been. I think I've driven through Philly. I've never actually been to Philly.
Yeah, I went there for a school trip, and we did a parade there. Actually,
Oh
marching
hell
band. I
yeah!
was a band nerd.
Ha! Actually, I was too in middle school, so I can't speak to that.
But, but as we get to it, we see all of the stars coming to the show. It's LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura. We see them respectively because they have a U.S. title match later on. Braun Strowman. Then we see Solo Sikoa with Fatu and Tama. And finally, Drew McIntyre, who just beelines it immediately to wipe out Damian Priest on site, throws him into some boxes, and just leaves him laying.
I
And I
like
got
that feud.
fucked up.
Honestly, I'm really digging it.
I like it too. Definitely. The big meaty man smacking man meat. We also get a recap of the Elimination Chamber, everything with the women's, and everything with John Cena, of course. And then the Viper himself, the man who's always the bridesmaid on the night, gets his return always overshadowed. Randy Orton comes out. He says a lot has happened this week. As long as he can remember, John Cena has been on top of this industry. Now, he's just a bottom for The Rock.
Oh God, he is.
I guess that gives a whole new meaning to rock bottom. Oh, I love it. Randy's already going after Cena. Let's restart this feud. Please.
You know how you restart it?
Oh,
WrestleMania Night 1 is Kevin versus Randy. Night 2, Randy comes in, RKO's John after he wins against Cody.
yes. Let's do it. Because John was somebody he respected and got along with, and there wasn't a lot of people who got that from Randy. One person who did, though, was Kevin Owens, and we could
Yeah,
boo.
fuck Kevin.
We both have things in common, though, Kevin. We both do vile things to get the job done. We both cross the line time and time again, and always in the name of business. Kevin Owens, the wrestler, I respect. His story of how he got here is admirable, but it's KO the man who Randy has a problem with. Never underestimate a jealous man's ability to destroy another man, and that's Kevin Owens to a T. His veins run with jealousy. I mean, look at Cody. Kevin pile drove Cody's head into the mat, and he says it's because he teamed with Roman, but he tried to end his career because he was jealous of the gold around his waist. Sami Zayn, they fought even before they came to WWE, all around the world, but they always came back together as friends. But at Elimination Chamber, Kevin tried pile driving his head on the concrete. And he will say it's because he helped Reigns at the Rumble, but Sammy has slowly and surely become a bigger star than Kevin Owens. At one point, Kevin was Randy's friend until he dropped Randy on the top of his head with a pile driver. An illegal move for as long as Randy has even been here. And why? What does he have to be jealous of when it comes to Randy? Kevin has won everything here. He has main evented WrestleMania twice, once against the greatest superstar ever in Stone Cold Steve Austin. Fuck yeah, he was the man that brought him out of retirement. Kevin the man. But what does he have to be jealous of? He is never satisfied. A year and a half ago, Randy was told his spinal fusion was a career ending injury, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. He busted his ass and told himself to never let anything in this ring get to him. Don't let anything piss you off. Kevin Owens, you done pissed me off. Randy runs down saving Sammy at Elimination Chamber and leaving Kevin lying in the ring. Normally that's enough. But something came over him that night, something he hasn't felt in 10 and a half years. The voices started talking. They told him to back
The
up, line up his
voices.
target, and kick Kevin so hard in the face that his own family isn't going to recognize him. Listen to me, Kevin Owens, and everyone else. I'm going to ensure from this point forward that Pat McAfee is the second best punter in the WWE.
I like that line.
The legend killer is back.
I wouldn't say legend killer, but because the legend killer was more like 2004 to like 2007 Randy. this is the Randy Orton that we got from 2010 or no 2008 to like 2000, let's say 11,
Yeah,
where he was like he wasn't the corporate guy, but he was
he's
the
going
guy
for the
like who
McMahons.
yeah he was the guy killing everyone and everything in his sight. Like
Mm,
I don't know if you remember the build up to WrestleMania 25, but there was a Raw or episode of Raw where he handcuffed Triple H or he RKO'd Triple H, handcuffed him to the ropes. I think punted him as well, and punted Vince McMahon. And then I don't know if this was a part of the storyline or what, but I think he punted or RKO'd Stephanie too, and ended up. I mean, I don't want to say this, but he ended up kissing her too, right in front of Triple H. That's the Randy Orton we have now. This is the one motherfucker. Like, I don't care who you are, I don't care what title you have. Like, dude, if The Rock was involved with this, I guarantee The Rock was eating a punt kick that night as well.
that would have been so good. That'd
I'm
be
just
so
saying.
good for Randy to just go full on. Like, I know we use Crash Out a lot in here, but Crash Out Randy going after the final boss
Randy is probably the true
and
crash
The
out
Rock.
star.
Yeah.
And just to kind of say something about Kevin's main eventing WrestleMania, I didn't even know the first one was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Didn't even know it was a fucking main event.
Yep,
Didn't
that was
know
the
that.
main event of WrestleMania 38, Night 1.
What was Vince thinking, dude? Like, I get it, it's Stone Cold. Don't get me wrong. Stone Cold has the
Why
resume
is that so bad? What a
because
part that is bad!
okay, let's look at the WrestleMania main event. Let's look at the WrestleMania 38 card. I guarantee I could probably find a better match
There was
than that.
only fucking. Let's see, what was the women's world? What were the women doing that year? I think Charlotte was. It was Charlotte and Ronda in a match for the world title on that match. Brock and Roman were unifying the titles. Cody was coming back.
You could have
Can't
done
remember.
Bianca versus Becky. You could have done Charlotte versus Ronda. You could have done that. Would have. I think either one of those women's matches would have been better. Bianca and Becky would have been better. Or if we're looking at night two, let me look at night two. Um,
It's the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
and I get that. Don't get me wrong, 100%. But that man hasn't wrestled in when was WrestleMania 38? That was 3 years ago. He hasn't wrestled in 20 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And he held his own in that match. Have you watched it?
I have not. I watched
It's a good
highlights,
match. It's a good
I
match.
still don't. I don't think you reserve a main event spot for a legend unless the storyline. I obviously I didn't watch it around that time. Made sense. Again, I think it. I think you should hold your main event for the stars, obviously, who deserve it. Even if it's the stars, your Roman Reigns, your Rock, your Cody Rhodes, your Seth Rollins. I get that, but hold it kind of for your younger stars as well. Like I'm gonna say it, like your Logan Pauls, your Dominic Mysterios, your. I mean, I'm just looking at the card right now. Like your Montez Fords, your Chad Gables, like you
But
have
you have
like
to
all
think
these
right now that was
right.
Vince McMahon in charge.
Exactly. Like I think
None of that
I don't
was
know.
happening.
I'm weird when it comes to my WrestleMania like booking because I think a lot of it does come with age, but it also comes with like Triple H said. It's not who's the top guy in the company. It's not this, that, the other. It's who deserves it. Who's put in the more work. What storyline deserves it the best.
That's how it's done now. Yeah, but
Right.
I mean, if you look at
Which
it
is
through the
then it's
lenses
different.
of what
Vince.
was 38. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, I would say it just to me, like I said, I'm very weird when it comes to my WrestleMania booking, especially when it comes to the main events. Like I said, I want Jay versus Gunther night one, and then I want Cody versus Cena night two. Those are my main events this year. I'll say it right now, even when I'm going to go make my predictions. Those are mine because I think next episode we should do our predictions. Are you down for that?
Yeah.
Bet. Anyways, do our predictions, and then because I think the women should open both nights. I don't think those. We haven't seen anything from Io and Bianca yet, so I can't say much there besides their past. But Charlotte and Tiffy, that doesn't deserve main event. Just for the storyline right now, because there hasn't really been much except for Charlotte just attacking Tiffy. Now you can run that same argument for Jay and Gunther, but to me they've had a lot more promos and storyline build, even though even more than Charlotte and Tiffy. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I mean, again, my opinion is my opinion solely. I am not the head booker, obviously.
Facts.
So,
This is
I
what the
get
point
it.
of the show is, to give our opinions on pro wrestling.
Oh
After all.
God. Oh God. So that's basically my argument for a lot of the
Oh shit!
things that I think.
My phone turned
But I'm ready to keep going if you are. I do
off.
apologize for stopping you.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Always good to go on tangents like that. It's fun, especially when we are in the build up for WrestleMania. It's easy to.
Yeah, it really is easy.
Now we will go onward with the show. Nick Aldis is talking with Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy time backstage,
It's Tiffy
and
time.
Chelsea Green
All
interrupts.
right.
Damn straight. She
Oh,
goes on about how unconstitutional it is that she had to
she's not
defend
even
her
American.
title in a street fight. She is the U.S. champion. She was bullied last week into a match against Tiffy, and this week she's been bullied again into a match against Michin. Tiffy is pissed though, and she tells her to exercise her right to be silent, and Piper chimes in, and they will not be censored. Straight up, you tell him, Piper. Tiffy challenges Piper to a match that gets made official, and we'll move right into that now. Tiffany
Before we
Stratton.
move into the end of this match fucking blew me. I'm just saying. Like
That's a crazy statement.
dude, I wasn't expecting it.
Nah, neither
You'll
did I.
understand. You'll understand why I wasn't expecting once we get into it, though. So
As
go
we
ahead.
get going into it, though, Stratton avoids Piper's power game to score a basement drop kick, but her handspring elbow was caught, and she's literally tossed over the top rope, just dumped out there by Piper with her like nuts.
Don't.
After a commercial, Tiffany is in control and gets her elbow, followed by another drop kick. And after missing the Piper bomb, she is laid out, and Tiffy goes up top for the PME. Our women's world champion is celebrating in the ring because it's Tiffy time all the
All
time.
the time.
When out of nowhere, Charlotte Flair, the queen, slides into the ring behind her, chop blocks Tiffy from
Wait,
behind,
it's not this match.
and
It's a different match.
goes after the leg with a figure eight.
Wrong match. I apologize. I thought this was Chelsea's. I was thinking Chelsea's match. When we get
Yep,
to
that's
Chelsea's
what you're
match,
on.
that fucking blew me.
That was amazing. But yeah, Charlotte locks in the figure eight, goes after the leg, and this is kind of what I've been hoping for. This is the angle that I've really been waiting on to get this feud to start heating up now.
I got you.
I
I get
liking
it.
it.
Like I think when it comes to these two, again, I've ran the idea consistently of is princess versus the queen. Tiffy's our princess, Charlotte's the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited to see again what happens between these two, especially when it comes down to how you want to run this entire program. Now, obviously, they could beat Jay and Gunther, or they could beat Cody and who is it, John. But again, you're gonna use your company title as the main event night too. That's the biggest main event of the night,
Yeah,
the biggest whatever.
1000%.
So, but the only reason why, again, I'm still going to hold this, and I've said it over the past weeks. I mean, I sound like a broken record every time I say this, but if you're going to run the Jay and Gunther feud as who deserves the main event out of those two, you have to put them in the fucking main event. Saturday Night's main event, isn't it? You got to WrestleMania main event this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm sitting on it. Obviously, like again, I'm gonna continually sound like a broken record until we get to WrestleMania, until we get there. So
Exactly. They do deserve that night one main event, though, at this point. No one's getting louder crowd reactions in that storyline.
dude, I know it's so nice.
Well, at this point, I feel like the Cody Rhodes shit's probably going to, but
Oh
Jay.
yeah, Cody's
But
will.
it is your world title feuds. That's what should be getting your loud reactions.
And I mean, same with the women's, of course. I think those
Mm-hmm.
should be getting a lot of reactions as well. No hate to the women. It's
No
just
hate on the
how
women,
they're
because they
presenting
always just outdo the
storylines.
men in the ring.
Yeah, for real. It's just, to me, it's how they're presenting storylines. That's all.
Mm-hmm. We'll go backstage now to Nick Aldis, and he runs down the drama between all of the tag teams on SmackDown over the past weeks and months. Nick has a
Dude,
solution to all of this, though.
this was
What is it?
crazy.
This is, yeah. The Street Profits, next week, they get their title match against DIY that they deserved weeks ago that never they got. Tonight, though, Pretty Deadly will face Los Garza and Motor City Machine Guns to determine the next number one contenders for the winners of that match. Loving the tag division on Raw. We'll go right into that triple threat match now. It's the Guns versus Garza versus Pretty Deadly. And Chris Sabin and Kit Wilson start until Angel immediately tags himself into the match and rips the pants off immediately. Fucking weirdo. Why do you even wear him to the ring?
Oh God.
This leads to all 6 men brawling inside of the ring, and it's just a schmoz big ol' fight. Los Garza takes everyone out with double moonsaults on the outside, though. Then Alex Shelley
Mosh pit.
single-handedly switches the momentum on Pretty Deadly after a commercial break, so Sabin can go crazy on Los Garza. Then Kit Wilson shoves Alex Shelley right when it looks like they're going to hit Skull and Bones for the win. He takes a nasty tumble off of the apron and just flops onto the ground. I was like, ooh, that one looked brutal. Pretty Deadly then get the win on Chris Sabin.
Dude.
I was like, hey?
Dude, I'm telling you.
I
We're
just
getting Pretty Deadly. The musical. Brother. Oh my God, WrestleMania. Give me that shit at WrestleMania.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
it. Just give it to me.
Oh my God, yes.
Pretty Deadly. Win it all at WrestleMania.
The musical. Oh my God. Their WrestleMania entrance is going to be like an entire theater production.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I kind of want the Street Profits to go to WrestleMania and win those titles.
I was quite literally going to say that. I hope they win them next week and go into WrestleMania as the champs.
I say they win them at WrestleMania because it would just help blow up the storyline a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, WrestleMania does a lot for stars, especially stars that are up and coming or stars, like the Street Profits. They've deserved this. They deserve these titles for years. They haven't had them since 2021, I think. 2022.
No, they haven't.
So it's been a fat minute. So I think they need their run.
They do. I 1000% agree. They need them bells because we want the smoke.
God, we want the smoke.
Then probably what was my favorite segment of SmackDown, in all honesty, comes up next, where we get a recap video of Jade Cargill attempting murder on Naomi.
That wasn't attempted murder. It was just an ass beating.
Inside of the Elimination Chamber. Then Bianca Belair comes to the ring, and she says that she should feel on top of the world right now. She should be focused on going to WrestleMania. But it's hard to do that when 2 of your best friends are fighting. She goes on to explain how both women have been close to her. Her and Jade put in a lot of work to build up the women's tag division, and Naomi stepped in when she needed her to fill in that gap. During that time, Naomi became Bianca's best friend. So she truly does not believe that she would do something like that. Right now, she is feeling like she's going crazy, and now she's being accused too, so she needs some answers. Naomi ain't texting her back. Jade isn't talking to her at all. She knows Naomi's back there, and she needs answers now. And then, if I remember right, Bianca was dressed in all black. Naomi comes out, she's dressed in all black.
And a bedazzled fucking neck brace.
Yeah, she's got a sparkly-ass neck brace. They're standing across from each other now, and Bianca asks her what the hell is going on. And Naomi says that it's not what it looks like. So lock in, B, because I need you to understand. Let me ask you this. When Jade couldn't compete, who stepped up? Who had your back? And who made sure you didn't have to relinquish your tag team titles? Bianca wants her to stop, though. Stop all this. And she just wants to know if she attacked Jade. It's a simple yes or no. Naomi goes on about all of this outside noise, and we need to focus on getting our tag team titles back, and we need to focus on WrestleMania. Bianca chimes back in. Naomi, you are talking about everything other than what we are here for. Stop talking about everything else because we're here to talk about Jade. Naomi pauses and her expression kind of changes, and she goes, Jade, 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 Jade. You want to know how I feel about Jade? I never said this before because I didn't want to be messy and hurt anyone's little feelings, but I feel like she's been piggybacking off of your back this entire time. And that is my truth, and I refuse to watch her mooch off of you. While I get pushed to the side, and I had to fight for every opportunity that I was given. I let y'all be great, and I gave y'all your flowers, and I didn't say a word. I don't give a damn about Jay, though, because she never gave a damn about you, Bianca. They start going back and forth, arguing, talking over each other, and Bianca eventually screams to just stop. Bianca asks her if it's a yes or if it's a no, and she wants an, and if she doesn't answer, then she's just going to walk out of the ring. Naomi starts crying, tears start falling, you can't fake the emotion. She goes, I did it.
I did it for The Rock.
I was fucking gonna say it!
I did it for Bianca.
I did it. Oh, shut up, you big fat fatty!
Nobody cares who you did. Nobody cares who you did it for. You fat thong wearing fatty.
She goes, there you go, B. I did it. I did it for you. I did it for us. I did it for The Rock.
I did
Bianca
it for The
tells her
Rock.
that this hurts so bad because of how much that she loves her. And Naomi tries to say about Bianca, just cuts her off, and that she said enough. She can't even look at her right now. And this is me. Me and you, we are done. She storms out of the ring, and Naomi gets the mic back, and she goes, "Why? Because of her?" Naomi breaks down in the ring as Bianca walks up the ramp, and both of them crying. Naomi starts screaming at her and gets angrier and angrier. The truth is, I wish I pushed her harder. I should have pushed her sooner. Every time I lock in and stand up for myself, all y'all turn your back on me. And that is exactly what you are doing, Bianca. You ungrateful bitch.
That's the only word I heard out of like the first like the last 3 sentences out of Naomi's mouth because she was screaming like a little fucking white girl. It was so annoying. Like, bro, shut up. All y'all quit screaming. Talk like normal human beings.
Bianca turns around though, and she's pissed. So I think for a second maybe she's going back to the ring. But on the Jumbotron, we see a car pull into the arena, and an all-white Jade Cargill steps out with blood splatters painted all over her gear, and it
That shit
was,
was so
oh
badass.
my god, it was so cool. A storm has indeed arrived.
Dude,
Bianca clears the way. Go ahead. Go ahead.
she did the same thing Punk did. She went straight to the fucking ring.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she ain't playing, bro. A storm has indeed arrived, and Bianca clears the way, and all she does is look at Jade, look at Naomi, nod, and then walks backstage. Oh, she sent the hit out! She gets Naomi before she can run into the crowd and just starts whooping ass ringside. She gives Naomi Jaded in the middle of the ring and stands tall, storming out. And all I have to say is this, bro. Big three of WWE is officially done for. It's just like in the rap game. Bianca's J. Cole has just stepped aside and watched it all happen. Naomi is Drake, who just got absolutely murdered twice in a row. Jade's Kendrick, I ain't gotta explain that. Jade is Kendrick.
Time to strike a chord. Time to strike a chord. That's probably.
A minor. Boo, 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 doo. Boo, 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 doo.
That's hey, we ain't wrong. Naomi ain't like the rest of them. She ain't built like Jada Bianca.
No, she ain't like us. She not like us. She not like
I like that
us.
little note that you put. Oh god.
Yeah, that's just how I felt about it, man. I This was such a good segment, honestly.
Mm,
I love Jade Cargill now. Like, she's the most badass woman here.
I do
And
agree.
now,
Like with Jade being the badass. Go ahead though. You can. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
replay of Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest inside of Chamber. Byron Saxton finds Drew McIntyre later backstage and asks Drew about his attack on Damian. He explains that no one should be surprised about what John Cena did after he called it all last week. The attack was deserved on Damian after he slithered in and pinned him inside of the chamber. And Drew has nothing to give but violence, and it starts tonight.
I'm interested in this, honestly.
Definitely get further development on later on because Drew has a match with Big Jim, but Byron Saxton's working overtime tonight. I don't know if you realized this, but he is. He's on it. He's got all the scoops. He's with Charlotte Flair now, and he wants her to shed some light on her ambush on Tiffany. She warned Tiffany, though, that she was going to be everywhere. It seems like this division has gone soft and without the threat of Charlotte Flair around, and they all forgot that there are levels to what we do. B-Fab then walks in, speaking out of turn to the Queen herself. How dare you? B-Fab
Ifab's a
says,
bad bitch.
she a
Fuck the
bad
queen.
bitch. She are here to mold their own legacies, and they aren't here to bow down to her.
Oh
Charlotte
god.
laughs, though, and tells her that everyone bows down to the Queen eventually. In fact, she has an idea. Next week, she'll meet her in the ring, and she's going to show her exactly what she means. The
Yo, talk your
Queen.
shit.
Woo!
Woo! Talk your shit, B-Fab.
hmm Braun Strowman now has a match with Solo Sikoa. And Braun easily sends Solo out of the ring and attempts the Express, only to eat the ring steps, and Solo answers with a hip attack against the barricade. Strowman just eats a lot of hip attacks anymore.
Bro, hey, you dog.
He's that dog. He just gets right up.
God.
After the commercial, Solo struggles for a second, but hits the Samoan drop, followed by some more hip attacks. Braun fires out of the corner with some boots and runs the Express around the ring, and Solo shoves Braun into the turnbuckle and targets the shoulder. Strowman hits the slam, and when he goes for the pin, Tama Tonga arrives and causes a DQ. After
Yarabane.
Yadamain! After the
Ah.
match, damn straight, Strowman lays out both Solo and Tama. That is when the werewolf arrives. He makes a killer's entrance before meeting Solo in the ring, sending him out. And Strowman catches a dive and choke slams him onto the tables, and it does nothing. Fatu sends him over to the barricade and into the WWE Universe, where they continue to fight, and they fight on top of some tech crates to Strowman, catches him, and choke slams him through a pair of tables. And literally, Fatu scrambles to his feet like a minute later, refusing any help, and they lock eyes again as he leaves.
Bro, these two being the untouchables. Oh my god.
That was
Oh my
amazing.
goodness. Like these guys, I love this shit so much.
Right.
And I want to see like this. I want to see this fold over. Honestly, you keep throwing the WrestleMania idea between him and LA Knight. Honestly, I want I more want Fatu and Strowman in this more than anything because I think with Fatu and Strowman, you're gonna get a honestly you're gonna get a bigger reaction, but you're gonna get a decent reaction out of these two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, straight up.
So that's where I'm at. That's why I want Fatu and Strowman more than anyone else.
That'd be
Against
colossal.
Fatu at WrestleMania. That's what I'm saying. You have a colossal last match. You know what would have been even crazier to me? You put Fatu, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Braun Strowman all in the ring at once.
Oh my god, bro, the ring collapse.
That ring is going to collapse. There's no
Wouldn't
ifs,
hold
ands,
that
or
much
buts
meat.
about it. Too much meaty.
Too much meat. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that should. If it's not LA Knight for the title, I agree with that Strowman statement.
Oh yeah,
But speaking
100%.
of the megastar himself, of course, Byron Saxton again with another interview with LA Knight this time. And let me talk to you, I guess it was all gas and no brakes for Fatu's big fat ass going through the table. That means the man that cost me the title last time is out of the picture. That means tonight, Shinsuke, it is you versus me. All I need is one moment, one time for the BFT to hit you. One moment standing here in Philadelphia, one moment that we can never feel again. To save it now, the moment of the rebirth of my US title reign. Yeah, I've dealt with the mist. I've dealt with the tricks. I've dealt with it all. Old Glory needs some better representation right now, and I'm about to give it to her. Oh, Shinsuke, I hope you are ready because I'm about to give it to you, LA Knight. Yeah. And it's just going to be me for the rest of this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you my thoughts on this real quick. I am loving LA Knight. He feels on fire right now. I cannot wait for Shinsuke's title reign to end. I mean, spoilers for the end of the night, but there you go. It was just amazing. I love LA Knight in this. Feels like fire. And Chelsea and Piper backstage, and Chelsea needs Piper ready for this street fight later tonight. And she just looks like death, leaning against the corner. Her glasses are all fallen, her suit's all torn up. And Zelina walks in and starts talking shit, saying that whoever holds the title after tonight, she has next. Chelsea freaks out and drags a half alive Piper to the ring. And Chelsea, dressed as Cactus Jack, comes to the ring with Piper. And yeah, Piper just looks like absolute death here. But this was such a fun match. It is the women's US title match in a street fight. Chelsea Green versus Michin. Michin comes out with a garbage can full of weapons, including a crowbar, chains, and some other shit that we'll find out. After brawling on the outside of the ring, Chelsea tries using Michin's chair against her, but during a commercial, Chelsea ties a rope around Michin's wrist, and when she comes back, Michin uses a fire extinguisher to get back on top. Then Michin tries to get a table, but Piper stops her, and Piper holds up a trash can so that Chelsea can deliver a coast to freaking coast from our women's U.S. champion of all people. This is why we salute her damn straight. Meechin gives Chelsea a cannonball with a trash can into the corner and also gives her a senton through a table. As she goes for the pin, though, a hooded figure pulls Chelsea out of the ring, revealing herself as Alba Fire. Delivers an insane Canadian Destroyer to Meechin on a stack of chairs for Chelsea to get the win. This was wild. Like, Alex mentioned it when he was in the recording, but like, this was pretty fucking nuts. Alba Fire comes in here, now the second member of the Secret Harvest for Chelsea Green, I assume. It's kind of funny that we have a Canadian as our US champion with two Scottish Secret Harvest members. I love that personally for this storyline. It's just too funny in my opinion. Um, like I said though, Alba Fire, I'm excited to see after her tag partner got released a while ago. Now she finally has a new direction to go on with this new stable, apparently, that's being built around Chelsea Green, and I'm loving it 1000%. We've even seen Chelsea talk about in the past how she needs more security, and she's finally gotten it. Santos Escobar now is backstage talking to Los Garza, and he's ashamed that they failed earlier in the night. Things need to change for Legado del Fantasma, and soon he doesn't expect it, he demands it. Angel shrugs and follows him out of the ring, but Berto holds back. Andrade then walks into frame, and he walks up to him and asks why he takes all of that. You deserve better, he says. And Berto, my question is, does Berto turn into the quote-unquote Ludwig Kaiser of Legado del Fantasma, where he kind of breaks off from the tag team inside of the faction to really start making a name for himself in the singles division of the mid card on SmackDown? I would personally love that if he could like potentially outshine Santos, because Santos hasn't been doing too much in my opinion, but we shall see how it goes. A short video of a new TKO boxing promotion headed by Dana White and Nick Khan is announced. Oh well, more money for the company. Nothing really for us to get excited about, I guess. Cody Rhodes then comes to the ring, our WWE champion, not dressed, I mean, he's sporting a black eye, and he's got a ear plug in one ear. The drum got busted by Travis Scott at Elimination Chamber, and he looks absolutely done with it. We hear Cena sucks chants ring through the arena as he stands in the ring. And he goes, "So, Philadelphia, city of champions, what do we want to talk about?" That's an obvious question with an obvious answer. The Wall, most watched. It is the most watched moment in WWE history, and there, on the floor, I was tasting my own blood. What do you say when your daughter looks at you and says, "Papa, what happened to your face?" He wasn't prepared for that conversation, and he told her a Cody lie. Said that he ran into a wall, and that's not entirely a lie. It was a wall designed by the final boss, The Rock, his associate Travis Scott, and my WrestleMania opponent John Cena. Cody points out that he used to drive Cena from show to show just to get every bit of information out of him about this business. He was a hero. One day, Cody will tell his daughter what happened. A great man who did great things, a mentor that Cody used to look up to, a man who used to run to the ring in a t-shirt and used to preach never give up. Well, he gave up. Cody addresses John and says that if it's not for him, then it's for the people. We deserve to know why. If he knows his old friend John Cena, then he is sure that at some point he'll hear the words, "Fine speech, kid," and John Cena will say his piece and feel bulletproof. He'll feel unstoppable. He will feel justified, and there is no justification for you, John Cena. He is aware that he is talking to the whole world right now, and he is addressing the people in the room now, tonight, in the arena. This is the one place Dusty Rhodes, his father, was afraid to perform in. He used to paint his face like the Road Warriors just so the crowd would know that they were allowed to cheer him and he was cool. Years ago, a mustache-wearing Cody climbed the ladder of a Money in the Bank ladder match to get that briefcase, and this city cheered for him. He never forgot that. Last year, across the street at WrestleMania, when he was finishing the story, they cheered for him. And speaking of Mania 40, John Cena celebrating in the ring at the end of that match, he told Cody Rhodes, he said it gets heavier every day. And talking about the WWE Championship. But here he is holding that championship. And it's not heavy enough. Holding it as he has done for the last 300 and something days. John, I know you're watching. Your successor, you think, has to look like you. You think he has to live like you. But this one doesn't look like the last one. John, you are convinced that you are the last of your kind, but I am standing here holding this above my head. At WrestleMania 41, I will do the same. So, John Cena, if you want some, then come and get some. This was pure fire out of our WWE champion. Literally, like, pure build. Like, oh my gosh, this had my mana. The mana was flowing. I had goosebumps during this entire thing, damn near. Like, the ending of if you want some, come get some. It's a man who used to preach never gave up, who gave up. Like, this is a phenomenal story already in my eyes. And when John Cena eventually gets a microphone and says his first heel promo, God, what does that even look like? What can we even expect from that? He's gonna rip Cody a new one. He's gonna just go off. I hope it's just an entirely new presentation for John. Fucking A, he should probably just shave the bald spot. Go team up with Dwayne and go bald. Go for it, John. Your bald spot already needs its own area code. Nick Aldis and is with Carmelo Hayes and The Miz, and Miz wants to premiere the first ever episode of Mellow Don't Miz TV with Cody Rhodes as their guest. And Carmelo wants to ask Cody some questions like, how do you fumble the bag when the final boss makes an offer like that? And if Mello was in that situation, he would have scooped it up right away. And then you got haters out here like Randy Orton, who've been sitting on the couch for 4 months playing Fortnite. And of course, this means that the Viper walks in saying Fortnite's for kid, and this man's been playing Elden Ring like a true baller. This man's a hell yeah, he's got like 300, 600 hours or something like that. I think he said on like a Cody Rhodes interview of that game. It's insane. Nick makes a match official for next week in Spain, Barcelona, Spain. Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. Randy tells him not to fumble the ball next week before walking out. And this moves us. Well, I am excited for that match. You know, get Mello in some reps with some true legends. I mean, if you look at his resume over the past like year, he's been in there with like some great superstars. And Randy Orton, of course, is one of them. But we'll move on to our next match. I mean, Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso. And Drew McIntyre beat this dude at the end of it all, of course. But as the match went on, Big Jim rolled into the ring and immediately smacked Drew, making the bell sound. Drew stops a dive and takes control, but after a commercial, Jimmy is chopping Drew and catches him with a kick, followed by a Samoan drop. Drew rolls away from the splash, though. Then he hits the claimer for the win, as I'd already talked about. And as Drew's leaving, Damian attacks Drew as he stands on the ramp, and Damian yells that it's going to be on site every single week before drilling him with another kick and going after him again until security arrives. This could definitely be a WrestleMania match if they build it right, if they build it enough. You know, Drew McIntyre definitely can make a non-title program work in that way. I mean, we've seen it with the Punk stuff. So now we'll go to our U.S. champion, it's Shinsuke Nakamura, although he wasn't title champion for very long after this. Shinsuke tells Knight that there is no better place for his defeat than the birthplace of the United States. So tonight, you will beg for mercy and you will find none. There you go. Go Shinsuke. But now Byron Saxton earning his final paycheck, really earning it this week, talking with DIY backstage, and he asks if this is their toughest challenge of yet facing the Profits next week. Johnny says that they are the best tag team in the world. Ciampa brings up all the tag teams want what they have, but there is only one number one team. As for the Profits, ever since they came back with this new attitude, they got a dream now. The whole reality is that next week in Spain, they aren't getting in the ring with great. They are getting in the ring with the best. Ciampa asks for a moment of silence, and Byron immediately breaks the moment of silence. And that's all for the Profits next week. Excuse me. We get a rundown now for the next match, or next week's SmackDown. We get a tag title match: the Profits versus DIY, B-Fab versus Charlotte, Orton versus Mello, and Miz TV with Cody. Our main event is going to follow now. It is for the United States Championship: Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight. Yeah! Shinsuke lures him outside of the ring before giving Knight a knee right to the face, and a second rope bulldog baseball slide switches it up on the champ. They go back and forth outside of the ring during a commercial break, leading to Shinsuke ducking a suplex and attempting to rake the eyes before giving him a top rope suplex. Knight scores a superplex and the Yabo before hyping up the BFT, but it's slipped by Shinsuke, who tries getting a chair, trying to get himself disqualified. Knight originally stops him, but Charles Robinson has to bro. Like, always get his hands on the chair from before getting misted for his troubles. It's always Charles, bro. Charles always catching strays. He's always getting hit in the corner. He's always getting dragged out of the ring. He's always getting misted. Man, he's a senior vet at this point. God damn it. Scorpio Rising then gets hit by Shinsuke Nakamura, and that should be somebody's finisher, to be honest. Like, I'm not saying it should be Shinsuke's, but someone needs to adopt that move and make it their finisher. He tries getting the chair again, and Knight kicks it away and drills a BFT onto the chair, pin it, and slides it out of the ring. Then he pins the champ as the ref slides back in. 1, 2, 3. We definitely protected Shinsuke with that loss, but it doesn't really matter. We're not doing anything with him, I feel like. And now Knight is back on top of things as our US champion. And bro, I am excited as fuck for this. If they re-release the United States titles with the LA Knight custom strap, you already know I'm gonna buy one. I already have a full LA Knight outfit, so you already know. Like, it's nothing but praise for me on this. LA Knight becoming our US champ again. Finally, this whole Shinsuke spinning his wheels and doing nothing with it is over. So, hell yeah. All positives from me on SmackDown, all positives from me on Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, that is now going to move me into our closeout now. Make sure y'all be on the lookout for WrestleMania predictions video. That'll be out soon. Make sure y'all head over to our socials: Twitter, AR Wrestling _, Insta is AR _ Wrestling _, Spotify / Apple Pod, iHeartRadio. I think we're on Amazon too, I'm pretty sure. It is AR Wrestling Podcast. Just type it in whatever search bar you find. Eventually you'll find us. Then go to YouTube, put in AR Wrestling 1020, and subscribe. Put the notifications on. Make sure y'all click on the videos. Watch the SummerSlam vlog. It's been a while, but it's still good. Still a banger. Go to Twitch. We're going to have that pop in. We're going to have that up for hopefully season 2. Hopefully halfway through that. But we will see at the end of it. It is twitch.tv /AR _ wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it was just me at the end of it here, but Alex will be back. We'll be back at it normally next week. No more scuff stuff. We will be good. And ladies and gentlemen, I will catch y'all in the next one, and Alex will as well. So thank you.